Yo, we back in this bitch. 11 hours, of course, you know, where you get all the one-on-one time with yours truly. Today we're gonna be reviewing UFC 300 because that shit was fucking crazy, oh my god. First, I wanna get it out the way that I did show up to the fights fashionably late, but it wasn't my fault, so do not crucify me. I had a barber appointment at 7:30, right? That's more than enough time between, because it only takes me about like 40 minutes to get a haircut. But this motherfucker is pushing it back because he's just, my barber was just pushing shit back, you feel me? So I show up late, and when I get there, Jerry is just at absolute war with
absolutely nothing. I don't know. I just showed up and I don't know. I don't even know the guy, to be honest with you.
To be fair, I do love the sport and I enjoy getting into it, and I would consider myself a fan, but I'm a very casual fan. So, you know, even though I'm reviewing this shit. Now back to the album. But yeah, hats off to the other guy, because I know Yuri pretty well, and like, when I pulled up and saw Rakic knocking around that little joystick in the back of his head, I'm like, okay, this guy got it, you know? I wish I got to see the whole thing. I watched some of the highlights, and it was good. It was definitely a battle, just like pretty much everything else that went down that night. And hats off to Yuri for getting the dub, and then also wanting to just like flex his English that he picked up in 5 years, because despite that nigga being like a complete fob, he had some shit to say for sure. Like,
I have to say, you didn't take me to your podcast. You took it somehow. and I want to be there too.
I'd be happy to have you on.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you. With an honor, to be humble, I have to say, this talks about me like I'm not samurai. That's true. I'm not a samurai. I'm a guy from Czech Republic. But we all need to live and be inspired by something. And these samurai ideas is something what's inside me. And no matter who will win tonight in the main event, I want to face the champion.
Yuri Prochazka, folks. He was heavy on getting on that podcast too. So, Joe, actually stand on your word. Next, after that fight, Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage. This was actually one of the only fights that consisted of no fob.
Shut up! Be quiet before you get exiled.
Going into it, I heard a lot about Bo Nickel and how he's just been like real talked about and really on the up and coming, and he's undefeated in 5 fights. And my friends told me, even though like he's a person who's a ground game person, like his ground game's disgusting, he's only one off knockouts until last night, that was. So it opened up and he's pretty much just like from the beginning of the fight dominating. Cody on the ground, it was pretty boring to me, even though I learned a lot like from seeing them on the ground and shit. But yeah, he subbed him pretty quickly with just a smooth rear naked choke, and that was that. At that point, I was really just there like socializing and getting progressively more and more drunk as I started to feel with these cut waters. If you never had them before, definitely get one. Those shits are fire. Now, at this point in the night, I was praising God that I didn't put through the parlay that I had in mind, because shit hit the fan. And when I say hit the fan, I mean like Oliveira versus Sarukian was just... I thought it was gonna be over early when Charles hit him with that guillotine, and that didn't happen. The guy, I don't know how he got out of that, because it looked cinched so perfectly. But that dude, Sarukian, put on an absolute show. That would have been, if I had placed the bet, that would have been the first of my downfall, because I would have had Charles winning in probably the second round. And he was just overall exciting, because like when I seen him hit that axe kick to the face, I'm like, wow, that was impressive. Like, and even though Sarukian got the dub, I don't know, man, that was tough. Could have went either way. One of my boys even left. He was so tight that he just dipped. He said, fuck the shit. But now, you would have had to been living under a rock to have like thought Jamal Hill was winning that shit. Like, if you know Alex Pereira, if you know Potan, you know it's not someone you really bet against either. It's not a smart thing. So he would have been like a kind of bittersweet bright spot, because I would have
Today, Junior.
put him on the parlay for a win, but I wouldn't have won because everything else fucking fell through. He was just he dominated that shit. Like how you get kicked in the nuts, right? This man's got kicked in the nuts. Herb Dean, the ref, comes up. He says, whoa, stop it. This motherfucker waves him off like, and then proceeds to feint a right cross, throw a lead hand uppercut sent down from the heavens, and KO this motherfucker. Like, who, we know who you are, but fuck, dude, fuck. Everyone around me is going bananas, and I'm just sitting there in awe with my mouth open, not even like, just catching flies, not even knowing how to feel. I just like, oh my God. Low-key though, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I might be doing this completely out of order from when the fights were, because I know that was the main card, so that was probably at the end. But regardless, I'm gonna just do it how it is, because I don't feel like going back and recording over this shit again. Or mixing and matching, like, or what goes where and all that bullshit. So, on to the next one, which should have been, I don't know if Actually, no, I'm gonna save Max versus Gaethje for last, because that was the best fight, in my opinion. In everyone's opinion, I don't care what y'all. There was a lot of good fights. UFC 300 did not disappoint, actually, though. But that shit was crazy. Now for the women's strawweight title, Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan. I hope that's how you say that shit, because I was, at this point in time, I was literally, like, I was kind of watching, but everything was a blur. This is why I'm explaining this shit out of order. Anywho, I didn't know shit about Xiaonan, but boy, did I find out, you know what I mean? They are some dogs out in China. Literally. Like, Weili basically choked her out, but then, like, she didn't, and then she just wobbled her ass around.
She's got it.
Oh yeah, that's real tight.
That's locked in.
Oh yeah,
She's gonna go to sleep.
12 seconds.
10 seconds. Can Yan Xiaonan survive?
She's still there.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. 1 second to go. Wow.
Oh,
She was out. She was out.
Xiaonan
Oh my God, she was out.
She got back to her.
That unconscious will of strength and determination and grit was that was a remarkable thing to see. Major respect to both those women warriors. Congratulations to Weili for retaining the title as well. Okay, so for this last fight, here's my logic, right? Gaethje beats Poirier. Poirier beats Max. So you would think, you know, Gaethje beats Max, but as we saw clearly, that's just, the math wasn't mathing at all. So I kind of already knew that there was a problem. My intuition was telling me like, nah, you fucked up, because you see them beforehand pulling up everyone on the screen like before the fight's about to start, and Max Holloway's wearing a Monkey D. Luffy shirt or a hoodie. And that's where I'm like, if you know me, you know how I feel about Luffy. You know I would never bet against Luffy. But, you feel me? I already I was being hard-headed, and I already decided on who I thought was going to win. Because, I don't know, Gaethje's wrestling is better, you feel me? And, like, I just thought he had a better chin than Max. And Max likes to stand and bang, so that's how you know, like, sometimes you can't bring logic into this shit. Or you can, but it won't always come out the logical way. And that's just in life and in any sense. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay. Early on, Max had him stale. He had him guessing, or not even trying to guess. He had Gaethje so hesitant about what to do, and Max was just picking his spots perfectly. you could just tell he was controlling the whole fight from the jump. He was like a snail out there. He was biting on all of Max's feints, and like that fucking spinning body kick that Max threw and actually ended up hitting Gaethje on the nose at the buzzer at the end of the first round was wild. And honestly, that was like a setup because Gaethje always does that what's that? It's like a tuck. He like tries to protect his face and body by ducking down, and he saw that with a feint and then spun into a back kick, and I think he broke his nose right there in the first round. And that's why Gaethje's such a dog, because he basically went to the distance with a broken nose. And then of course one of the greatest endings to a match in UFC history, with them two just, Max pointing the middle of the ring, just there, just throwing them back and forth between each other, and it just, we knew Gaethje was gonna it's crazy for both of them because they both did something to each other no one's ever done before. Max, for the first time, he got knocked down on a strike like that. I don't think that's ever happened before to him. And then Gaethje got knocked out, actually knocked out for the first time ever. And Max, that was different. But yeah, overall, that was the event of a lifetime. I'm glad I got to experience it live. I'm glad I got to be around great people who I love to enjoy it with. And hopefully if you didn't tap in this time, you tap in next time, because that was an 11 out of 11.